let me do this really quickly. Let me do this. Let me talk about this. Shall I? Because I knew a big topic of discussion for tonight would be Montreal, right? So let's get Montreal out of the way. Let's talk about this, because I know you're not going to believe this, chat. I know you're not going to believe this, right? I've got the balloons still show up. Thank you for that! We got more gifteds. Who was that? That was Jax. Jax again, great work. I can already tell you did great work off of the feedback I'm seeing. I gotta make sure I check out that video. So I did I did a little bit of trolling today that pissed off some Habs fans, right? Who would have thought? I wanted to say this about the whole Claude Julien getting fired thing, which again was great news on my birthday. It was just tremendous. Let me just kind of get the actual thoughts and opinions out there. Number one, was it a good idea to fire Claude Julien? Probably. Why? Because there were the same complaints about Claude Julien that Bruins fans had at the end as well, and questions about the style. So, I don't think it was necessarily a bad move. Hiring Alex Burrows, I'm glad to see that you guys are embracing the fact that you're the most dislikable franchise in hockey. Good job on that one. Holy shit. Your team employs Brad Marchand. I would fucking take Brad Marchand on my team any day of the week over Alex Burrows. Sorry, not sorry. But overall, the coaching change, probably not a bad thing at the end of the day. That said, in terms of Burrows is an assistant coach. He's not the head coach or the interim head coach. When it comes down to everything behind it, long term, has Claude Julien been a great special teams coach? No. Has the people he's had around him been a great special team coach? No, they haven't been great special teams wise. But man, just some of the things that I'm seeing, like, it's always something. You know? It's always something. And by that I mean, it's always someone else's faults other than a certain $10+ million a year goalie. Montreal's issues to me, number one, your expectations were way too goddamn high. Way too high. And that was only inflated by the fact that they had such a strong start to the season. I'm sorry, you were going to finish like what? Certainly outside of the playoffs, what, like 25th, 24th last year or something like that when the season stopped? You bring in Josh Anderson, you bring in Tyler Toffoli, and then of course you get the contributions from Suzuki, you get the option of Jonathan Drouin remembering how to play hockey. That's all well and good, but was that enough to then realistically say, oh man, yeah, no, we're not just riding a heater at the beginning of the season? I admit, great start to the season, but I feel like some people just got a little bit too invested in it to where it's almost that aura of, well, this is definitely what we are and we deserve this and we're going to compete all season with Toronto for the top spot. I just feel like some Habs fans got ahead of themselves, especially based off of what you had seen, in the offseason and heading in to this season. But again, you look at the team. Number one, I don't think you can blame Claude Julien for disciplinary issues. I don't really see how it's his fault that Ben Sherratt's taken 30+ penalty minutes already this season. I don't really see how that's his fault, right? Fox, thank you for the 2,000 bits, for God's sakes. I did not listen to the new Offspring single. I didn't know the Offspring were still making music. I'm going to have to check it out. To that point, regardless of what system you have for Claude Julien, is it his fault that the players are taking penalties? Not in my opinion. At the end of the day, is it his fault in a way that the special teams suck that much? Yes. Is it all his fault? No. If the team was as good and the players were as good as Habs fans had that expectation, I think they'd have a little bit better PK. And, look, Carey Price has a good 5-on-5 save percentage, but in terms of a shorthanded situation, dude, the guy has like an 840 or something like that? Pretty sure it's a sub 850 save percentage for the best goalie in the world. Now people are like, you're a Bruins fan, you hate on Price, he's still the best, whatever. I don't really care about those people because you're just blindly defending Carey Price and not listening to what I'm saying. You're doing the Patrick Waugh, I got rings in my ears, whatever. Granted, those rings are getting kind of rusty. They're pretty old at this point. But, yeah, I just don't... I don't know. I just don't see the opinion. I'm not saying all Habs fans believe this, but the opinion of, oh, Claude Julien's gone, everything's going to be fine. There are more problems with that team. And regardless of who wants to admit it or not, some of Carey Price's inconsistencies, like we've seen over the past 3 years or so, have been a massive issue and continue to be a massive issue. Then you have the disciplinary issues that aren't just down to the system. Then you have the fact that you have a lot of younger players on that team that are still getting adjusted to the league. Even Nick Suzuki or Kotkaniemi's done pretty well so far this year. I don't know. Maybe it's me being defensive of the coach that helped make this team a winner 10 years ago. Maybe it is a blind hate of Carey Price, which it isn't. You can feel free to look at the numbers and see that, yeah, he's kind of inconsistent, and it's not just on the PK. At the end of the day, I don't think this move is just like, yep, that's it. Now the Habs are going to be great. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. See, I didn't name you in particular right now. I'm not naming anybody in particular in terms of the complaints, but yeah, just to explain that whole tweet of me being like, hey, Carey Price got him fired. Like, the problem is, right, and I'll bring it up on Twitter as well. Okay, Twitter, stop with the balloons. Like, you want to know the issue right now, right? So this is the rolling save percentage for the Habs. Yeah, that dip right there. It's not good. That dip got Claude Julien fired. Let's be honest. Is it completely Carey Price's fault? No. That said, and I'll continue to say it, let's go to NHL.com. Let's give NHL.com a fucking look, because I don't feel like going to Hockey Reference. But, yeah. The other point that I always like to shout out is when people are like, it's the defense. Funny, a week ago, Jeff Petrie was God, and that Habs defense was fine, especially after getting Edmondson in the offseason. Consistently over the years, I have seen the one thing about Carey Price where it's like, nope, it's everything else but him. It's the team in front of him. It's the systems. Yet you can look at other teams that are equally as bad and have just as bad, if not worse, defenses, and they have goalies that succeed. What's with Jake Allen having a 932 behind the same defense and Carey Price having an 839? And do not hit me with the bullshit of, oh, well, the team takes more risks when Carey's out there because they have more faith in him and they play better defense when Jake Allen's out there. Fucking really? Fucking really? I mean, again, it's $10 million goaltender. Oh, a lot of the goals are shorthanded. He's still not as good as he needs to be. If Carey Price was what he was 5 years ago, this team is probably above Toronto, especially with some of their goalie struggles. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Today was a fun day, though. Today was a fun day. It's my birthday. Montreal's in disarray. How could I possibly be upset? It's a great day. Talking about this, it doesn't do anything because there are people that agree with me, and it's fine. And then there are the people who are just going to be staunch Price defenders, and I'm just a biased asshole, whatever. And it doesn't matter anyway, right? But end of the day, yeah, that was a nice little highlight for today. That's all. The Big Show was all elite. That was fucking interesting news to wake up to, too. Jesus Christ. That was very interesting news to wake up to. Oh shit, happy birthday. I mean, did you think I was wearing this for no reason? But anyway, what's going on now that I'm done ranting and raving? What's going on, everybody? He's now the large program. Oh, God, no. He's on TNT again. He's the Giant. I don't disagree with the statement that the price of the goalie was 5 years. Right? Because you can look at some of Toronto's issues that might mainly come down to fucking injury issues. So is he only the interim because Bergevin's gone next summer? I don't know, man. I don't know. It would be pretty rough on Bergevin to get rid of him at this stage, but, you know. Could have been celebrating Shinsuke Nakamura's birthday. True. Or Tyler Bertuzzi's. Rocking the hat for Tyler Bertuzzi's birthday, you know? So, yeah, I don't know, man. That was just one of those things that's been kind of bugging me all day. I haven't really been able to respond to it, because it's like, okay, it's my birthday, and I'm, you know, having dinner with my girlfriend and everything, and it's, you know, I just had other shit to do. So, smiles, thank you. Jay Fresh had a great point about it on Twitter, referring to Price in the name. Yeah, Fox, I totally agree with that, right? Totally agree with that tweet. Connor McDavid starts having 50-point seasons. Is he referred to as the best anymore? No, he's cooked. Carey Price starts struggling. Oh, but it's this, and this is why, and this is why, and it's everybody else but him. I get Habs fans being defensive over Carey Price because, look, people think I hate Carey Price. Carey Price is like he is a Hall of Fame goalie already in my mind. Like, Carey Price has been in a generation with Henrik Lundqvist, in a generation with Marc-Andre Fleury. You could say those goalies, Roberto Luongo, you could say those goalies at their best were not as good as Carey Price was at his best. And I'd agree with you. But I hate Carey Price. I'm just biased against Carey Price. You know? I'll never forgive NHL.com. Oh, Top Hat. God, the days of the headline segment for the Steve Dangle podcast were incredible. Incredible. Who's my Team Canada goalie right now, then? Not Carey Price. Oh, let's see. Let's look at Canadian goalies here, shall we? Right now, NHL Canadian goalies. My goaltender. Let's go to Quant Hockey. My goaltender right now for Team Canada today is Marc-Andre Fleury. I don't know if you know this. Marc-Andre Fleury is probably the best starter right now in the league. Certainly, Carey Price, I'd take him over Smith, Dubnyk, Holtby, Elliott, Bernier. If Carey Price is on his game, I take Carey Price. What Jonathan Bernier has been able to do in Detroit, that is one of the reasons why I will never accept, oh, Carey Price's team is bad. How the fuck, then, does Jonathan Bernier have these 3 save percentages behind fucking Detroit? But Carey's issue is everybody in front of him. But Jonathan Bernier can do this, too. So what's Jonathan Bernier get if he's in front of Montreal, then? Because you can't tell me Montreal's defense is worse than Detroit. Like, that's one of those things that drives me up a fucking wall. Is being like, oh, it's the defense in front of him. Are you sure? Are you sure? But, I mean, regardless, aside from that, I mean, legitimately, you would have to have a debate, Bernier over Price, and that's not a hot take. Carey Price is the better goaltender in the history of his career, or through the longevity of his career. But you look at what Jonathan Bernier is doing in Detroit. I don't know, man. I don't know. How's he doing that? But Price is bad behind Montreal's defense. You're going to tell me Montreal's defense with Norris candidate Jeff Petrie is worse than Detroit? Is that what we're saying? I'm not putting words in anybody's mouth in chat. I'm just saying in general with that conversation. I mean, fuck, I might take Jake Allen over Carey Price right now. He's doing better. Obviously for the future, though. I mean, dude, if Chris Driedger keeps this up in Florida, holy hell. No, it's only been 24 games. But Blackwood, Hart, I mean, those are the guys definitely fighting for that spot in the future. Darcy Kemper technically counts. Get Darcy Kemper. But yeah, no, Carey Price would not be my number one choice for a goaltender on an Olympic Canadian roster. He just wouldn't be. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry, actually, because I'm sorry. It's just a fact. Like, you look at the numbers, you look at the stats. No. And if it takes an Olympic caliber defense in front of him for Carey Price to put up Carey Price like numbers, then maybe Carey Price isn't Carey Price like anymore.